Hello YouTubers, Bud Light back here again for part 2 of Airbnbs. Bud Light bringing hope and light into this world of financial darkness. I'm here again with Rhesa Funk on part 2 of Airbnbs. And we're standing back here by this camper. We mentioned this in the first video, but now she's going to expound on this a little bit. So Rhesa?
We talked about in video 1 about how to start an Airbnb, what you needed to think about, some key points to starting an Airbnb. And in this video we're going to talk about, that was our first side hustle, was having Airbnbs. That spun off actually into a second side hustle. Airbnb is not what we do for a living. My husband is a carpenter. I own an advertising marketing business. Airbnb is not our main business, but our first side hustle spun into second side hustle, which is vision to visitor. And this camper is a perfect example of how you need to have a vision, and then you can convert something like this into getting visitors into wherever you put it. This is not an Airbnb. It's not going to be an Airbnb anytime soon, but it is a great example of something that we traded out for work. The people where Evan was working wanted it off of their property, and so we have it. And someday we will do something with it, but it's things like this, things that we've used, sheds, tents, glamping tents, campers that you can turn into a business. And right now we're going to talk about our other side hustle.
So just on this deal, on the camper, one person's junk is another person's treasure.
That's right.
So they saw it as junk, but you saw it as an opportunity.
That's right.
Because whenever you saw the pictures of the happy camper before, same concept. What they could do with this would be amazing, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it down the road here. So what was your second side hustle that came off of the Airbnb?
The second side hustle that came off of our success in turning unusual sorts of structures. We took the fifth wheel, which we talked about in video number 1. We took an old shed, which we also talked about in video number 1. We took a piece of junk house, which we also talked about in that video, and turned them into successful Airbnbs. That launched us into people calling us and asking us, hey, I have this idea, what do you think about this? Could I do an Airbnb in my backyard? Could I do an Airbnb in the piece of property I have? Because what they saw in us is that we were taking the unusual and making it very desirable, or we were taking something that was pretty inexpensive to start to attract guests and making quite a bit of money on the side. So people started calling us. Then they started asking us, would you come set up my Airbnb from start to finish? So that's how we got side hustle number 2, in addition to our regular jobs, which is vision to visitor, meaning that we take your piece of property, even if it's a junky old camper like this one. I mean, it might look good in this video. It's not anywhere near being ready for visitors. But taking something like this and theming it, which is the key, that's what we do as our niche. And a part of a side hustle, being really good at your side hustle, is to find that niche that you fit into. You're not trying to be a broad expanse of something that you're offering to everyone. What is the niche? And for us, and for successful Airbnbs that we have helped put together for people, we have niched them to a theme. And that's what our second side hustle is about, is themed Airbnbs.
So one of the things, folks, you all know Genius Brady, my little sidekick that's on these videos with me every now and then. You're working with Genius Brady right now on his place of helping him put an Airbnb together. So Genius Brady, you're on the hook now. You got to get that thing done and finished, and so we can do videos about it. But one of the things you said we didn't mention on video number 1, we asked, what should I do to get started? One of the things we talked off camera about was, you said that probably the most important things is social media and marketing. And
having a website.
Okay, social media, marketing, and website. Why is that so important?
The reason that that's important for how we help people with Airbnbs is because we're going to niche your Airbnb. For example, we just did a home here in Stillwater, and we'll show the pictures of that. We'll do that right now. It's called Hobbit House in Stillwater. Here it is.
So here it is before.
Here it is before.
Okay, and then here it is afterwards. Looks like a Hobbit house from Lord of the Rings.
We also did another one in northwestern Oklahoma, where there's almost no tourism, but now people come specifically to stay, and we converted an old mobile home into a lovely place to stay. But the key to that one, as the key to all of our Airbnbs, is to have something special, and the something special for that one is a silo with an upper moon gazing and sunrise deck. So here's what that one looks like.
All right. And now here's what it looks like afterwards. So that's pretty cool.
The side hustle that we have started from this.
Now these were your side hustle.
These are our side hustle.
These aren't her Airbnbs.
These are not our Airbnbs.
This is now your side hustle
This
business.
is our side hustle. This is our second side hustle business, which is helping other people start an Airbnb. And one of the things to remember about having a successful side hustle is to build upon what you already know. For example, I could not have a side hustle repairing small engines because I don't know anything about that. But I took what I already knew, which is marketing and advertising, and I combined my husband and I, he's a carpenter, he can fix anything. We combined those with his skills, and we're also both extremely creative. So when other people just see a junky camper or a junky shed, we see the potential. That happens to be our skill, but you have skills that are the same. For example, what do you do in your regular job, and what can spin off from what you do in your regular job? That's an important thing to remember about a side hustle, is to take what you already know and find something that's missing in your market. And for us, while, for example, in Stillwater, Oklahoma, there are over 200 Airbnbs. But we themed this Airbnb, and it rented within about 30 seconds of being online, even when there's a lot of others available, because
and it's booked
themed.
all year long, right?
It's had a lot of bookings since it's on social media. It had over 350 shares within 24 hours. It was seen by over 100,000 people in less than about 48 hours, and that's because it was different, it was themed, and we put the marketing behind it. It doesn't have to be expensive marketing, but it's got to be smart marketing. So that's how we ended up with the side hustles, because we knew how to do that. We knew how to theme your home, and we knew how to do the smart marketing, and we knew the systems. So we took the systems that we learned from our Airbnbs in Missouri, then we started another business teaching other people our systems, and we completely set it up, excuse me, teach them how to do it. We bring in the things that we know 100% work. We're not here trying to reinvent the wheel, and that's how Vision to Visitor got started.
Okay, so my question would be, you have this other business. Her side business is now a full-blown business with a website and everything. Do you do that just for Oklahoma, or will you go nationwide?
No, we'll go anywhere in the United States.
Anywhere in the United States. There you go, Clayton, if you're watching. I called you out on the first video. So she wants to come to Vancouver, Canada, Clayton. So, all right. Was there anything else as far as this side? We're going to be doing a third video coming up.
Not about Airbnb.
Not Airbnb, because she has so many side hustle ideas. We're going to talk about side hustle ideas and get her perspective on side hustles. She's already given you some. I mean, this whole Airbnb was a side hustle deal.
I think the one thing to encourage people on side hustle is that it doesn't hurt to start. When our youngest son was a very young teenager,
let's save that. Save that for the third video. That's a really cool story, so we're going to save it for the third video.
Okay.
Let's go back on the Airbnb. So as far as your consulting and everything around here, or it could go nationwide, what if I want to call you, what are my ducks I need to have in a row first before I talk to you? Or is it just I call you up, say, I have this and I don't know what to do, and you walk them through that? Is that how that works?
That is, we have we will talk to you for free for about half an hour.
Except Genius Brady, apparently.
Yeah, we talked to Brady for a long time.
Yeah.
Genius Brady, you got a deal for sure.
Yeah.
The thing that you ask about ducks in a row, one, you need to know about your zoning laws. There's so many communities now. If you're inside of town, go to your city hall and say, I'm interested in short-term rentals. What are the zoning laws? Do we have any zoning laws? A lot of towns won't have them, but some will have them.
For example, homeowners. HOA, homeowners association, too.
That's something that you have to consider and or find out about. In some towns, for example, Branson is a perfect example where people flocked there to buy homes to turn into short-term rentals. Branson now has a law on their city that says that if you didn't have your home set up for short-term rental prior to this date, they're not taking anymore. You can't just go there and buy a house and turn it into an Airbnb inside the city of Branson anymore. And big companies, Hilton would be one, Holiday Inn, Wynn Hotels, you know, they don't want to see the success of Airbnbs.
Yeah,
so
they don't like Airbnb.
So they're helping city councils really shut them down. But that's few and far between. If you have a piece of property outside of a city somewhere or even in a town, most have no regulations at all. That's what you'd want to find out first.
Okay.
Can I have this in my area?
Can I even do an Airbnb?
Can I even do a short-term rental legally in my area? Secondly, have some pictures of your property ready so that when you talk to us, we can breeze through the pictures. Know something about your area, who comes. You know, for example, Genius Brady, we look to see who comes to his area, who would come here to stay. And that's part of the market research that we provide when you hire us, is to see, is there enough traffic in your area, enough people coming, or can we create a venue that people want to come to?
Okay. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
A budget. Do you have a budget in mind?
Right. A budget. That's always
you're going to have to have a budget, and it is, we help you. In fact, Genius Brady is a perfect example. I taught Brady how to go and do his own research, and our business provides. We'll teach you how to do it to see how many heads and beds are there in my area. What's the socioeconomic level of people that come to my area? What are other Airbnbs in my area charging? If I rented it out for 200 nights a year, what am I going to make? And that helps you, you know, what you're going to be your ROI. Because those are things that we want to look at. Is this even feasible? That's one of the first things that we do in consultation, is to help you look and see, is this
even worth it?
Because Field of Dreams is truly a movie. It did happen in real life, but it happened in one place, and we want to be a little bit more secure on, is this a good idea?
So you got to have your ducks lined up in a row, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you reach out to Rhesa Funk on Visions to Visitors. That's a mouthful.
It is.
Woo. All right.
For financial victory.
Yeah. The V.
The V.
All right. So if you have any questions, or if you want to reach out to her, all her information will be down a list below in the comments section, or not comments section, down below the video. If this is something that you really would like to do, I'd say that, hey, this is the person you need to talk to, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for having us here today.
All right.
Bud Light.
So this is Bud Light. God bless everybody. Go out and crush it, okay? Talk to you later. Bye.